Glial cells perform many of the duties that connective tissue does in other tissues of the body. The central nervous system has only a very small amount of connective tissue and collagen. Most of the small, seemingly bare nuclei scattered throughout both white and grey matter belong to glial cells. It's usually better to examine the glia in white matter, so you can be sure that you're not confusing small neurons with glia. But the myelin stain is a bit too intense in this section, so I've moved to the grey matter in the ventral horn to identify each of the glial cells, as these large ventral neurons are very obvious, and so there should not be any confusion. It shouldn't be difficult to convince yourself that two main categories of cells are present. These larger, paler nuclei with somewhat irregular shapes belong to astrocytes. They are the most numerous of the glial cells and also have the most diverse functions. These smaller, denser, conspicuously round nuclei, which look like lymphocyte nuclei, are oligodendrocytes. Oligodendrocytes form the myelin in the central nervous system. In addition, a small number of dense, elongated nuclei belong to microglia. But remember, some flattened cells will be endothelial cells of the numerous capillaries, which cannot be seen here as they've mostly collapsed during tissue collection and processing. Microglia are mobile cells, and so they wander through the neuropil, looking for damaged cells and microorganisms. So they're a macrophage. Oh, I just mentioned the word neuropil. Neuropil is a general term for the network of neuron cell processes, that is, the axons and dendrites and processes of glial cells. The fourth type of glial cell in the central nervous system is the ependymal cell. It lines the central canal of the spinal cord and the ventricles of the brain. Ependymal cells usually form a cuboidal to columnar epithelium in the cord and a low cuboidal lining in the ventricles of the brain, which you will see later. They may have cilia or microvilli on their cell surface to aid the movement of cerebrospinal fluid or aid absorption and monitor the contents of cerebrospinal fluid.